Bro, we have a competition going on here. And by the way, the appropriate answer to the truths of truths is, I exist. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, Shambra, I exist. That is the original truth. I exist. Therefore, I am. I exist. Nothing else matters. Everything after that is either another truth, but not the core, or a mistruth. From the simple words, I exist, come all truths and mistruths. I exist. That's what you felt when you left home, the loving, comforting home of spirit, went into the darkness, went into absolute nothingness, and said and felt, I exist. I am that I am. Nothing else matters. There is no other truth more important than that. Everything else either turns to Makyo, or everything else is simply supporting that truth, I exist. Nothing else matters. Do you realize the significance of that? I exist. Therefore I can create. Therefore I can live. Therefore I can be. Therefore I can feel. I can be sensual. I can have joy. I can have sadness. I can have lack, and I can have abundance. I exist. Do you realize how profound that is? I exist. That's it. So, Juntai. That's all that matters. There is no other philosophy. There are no other books. Everything that tries to explain it in detail is just Makyo, spiritual bullshit. I exist. That's it. Feel into it for a moment. You exist, David, Edith, all of you, Elizabeth, you exist. You exist not just as part of something. You exist as a sovereign being. You exist. That's all that matters. None of the rest of the talk about dimensions and time and space and the concept of God, which shouldn't be spoken anyway, your past lives, your future potentials, none of that matters other than I exist. This is what's special. Nothing else matters. When your physical body dies, you can still say, I exist. When you go traveling in the other realms, that'll be the song that you sing, I exist and I'm aware of it. You see, there are, 6.5 billion or more people on this planet right now. Do you know how many consciously understand that they exist? Oh, they live, they have their jobs, they have their families. But very, very few can stop for a moment. Aside from all the religious garbage, aside from anything that's happened in their life, their history or anything else, just stop for a moment with that simple, pure truth. In the deep breath, I exist. I am that I am. That's what I am that I am means, my dear friends. Anything else is Makyo. I exist. I am. I am. Thank you. In your heart, you know they are not. What you have to rely on is you, but yet unsure of who you are. Still trying to find you in this endless sea of troubles. Still trying to identify you, something that simply cannot be done. So you dive deeper. You dive deeper into you. And you come to the point of realizing that you is not who you thought you were whatsoever. The you that you have known was simply a creation of a mind that was conceived here on earth, that was developed here on earth, refined and programmed here on earth. The mind, the strangest of all the aspects, not you whatsoever. So where do you find you? Certainly beyond the mind, even beyond the heart. You find you in those darkest hours that you've had, those dreadful horror-like, nightmarish, dark hours that you've had. Each and every one of you have had them. Those dark hours when you know there is no going back to the world of the blind and the unaware. Those dark hours when you wonder, who am I? Those dark hours where you wonder, to be or not to be. Should I terminate this? How can I release myself from this trap? How can I release myself from this mental anguish and this physical pain and this lack of knowingness? Those dark hours when you come to the deepest, the simplest, and the truest of truths. The only thing that matters is I exist. That's it. I exist. And from that simplest, most truthful of places, a place that defies the mind and even the heart, a place that defies all of your previous experiences, any beliefs that you ever had, anything that you thought to be good or bad, real or unreal. This place of I exist, the simplest of all truths, is where you find you. Not surrounded by anything, anyone else. Not confused by the world of the blind, not confused by the world of your mind, or your desperate attempts to save an identity of yourself. In that simplest of places, I exist, is where you start to hear the beat, the rhythm of your soul. I exist. Therefore, I am. It's all that matters. All that matters. To be aware or not to be aware, such a torturous question, such a torturous middle land you find yourselves in. But, my dear friends, you have felt, even if it is only for a moment of time, you have felt there is something deep within you, something that doesn't rely on any other human, something that doesn't care about your past, your health, your intelligence, your looks, or your money. Been aware of a few times of that existence of the self. Sometimes it is but a fleeting moment and then disappears back into the darkness, into the abyss. But you remember, it was there. It's always been there. It never goes into the darkness or into an abyss. It is never lost. It is only you. You. Still in the world of the blind, still in a type of hypnotic living. Still wondering how to make yourself better, how to make yourself perfect. It is you that actually goes back into the darkness. Because the existence, the I am, is always there, always waiting, always knowing. It does not care if you go into your own personal crisis, into chaos, into crash and burn. It does not care because it knows you are always there. The I am. It does not care if you were a queen or a king, or if you were the richest being in all the world. It does not care if you succumb to the demons and the dragons of yourself or the others in the blind world around you, because it's always there. It doesn't care about good days or bad days. It doesn't care if you drink too much, smoke too much, sleep too much, or eat too much. It does not care. It does not care if you are having emotional difficulties with others, if others are using and abusing you. It does not care. It does not care one bit about your spirituality, about your religion, about your beliefs, about your affirmations and confirmations, or any of your illusions, because it is beyond illusion. It is your existence. It's there. You've touched upon it. Perhaps when you were very young, perhaps that's what set you off sailing and searching to find how to bring it into this reality, how to bring it into your life. And although your mind has tried to take this, the simplest and most joyful of all consciousness, tried to take it and mold it to this world of the blind and the unaware, take it and mold it to what it feels its extra identity should be, it will never, ever, ever be captured by the mind, by the human identity. It can never be corrupted, destroyed. It can never be put in front of or behind anything else, including spirit. It's always there. The existence. I exist. Never forget this. Ever, ever, ever. Never forget this. In the darkest moments and in the most joyful moments. Take a deep breath. I exist. It is the truth of truths. It doesn't take anybody else to bring that into your awareness. There's only you that can do that. There is no power in it, no power whatsoever. No energy in it whatsoever. It is not surrounded by anything. It is unto itself. It is not glorified by God. It is not pampered to by the angels. It does not exist in time or space. It is the existence, the I am that I am. Take a deep breath, my dear friends. No game shows today. No game shows today.